Hey everybody, Daniel Fusco here, and welcome to today's 2-minute message. So I'm a pastor of an amazing church called Crossroads Community Church in Vancouver, Washington. And when I meet people and they find out that I'm a pastor, I hear so often, oh man, I would never go to church. I'm like, why? Well, because Christians are hypocrites. Now, what's amazing about that statement is it's absolutely true. Now, think about what I'm saying here. Really what I'm saying is that everybody is a hypocrite. If you think about what a hypocrite is somebody who is two-faced. So anybody who has ever not walked out their beliefs, anybody who has ever said one thing in one context and another thing in another context, that person is a hypocrite. And what I know about all of humanity is that this is a universal human condition. Just because somebody believes in Jesus doesn't mean that they're not going to be making mistakes, that they're not going to be hypocritical in some ways. Now, I'm not saying we should give Christians a free pass. I think people say that because they know that if someone follows Jesus, they should be different. But what I want to tell you is that God's grace does not say that when you put your faith and trust in Jesus, then you're perfect and you get everything right. God's grace forgives us for all the ways that we're imperfect, and God's grace is transformational in our lives. See, we live in a world, everyone's a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, I'm a hypocrite. Everybody who's ever lived, except for Jesus himself, is a hypocrite. And God's answer for that is that we receive God's grace and we learn how to acknowledge all the ways that there's gaps between who we say we are and who we really are. And really what goes on is the reason we're all hypocrites is we're always apt to choose ourselves instead of other people. That's a big problem because that's classic selfishness that we do for us as opposed to doing for other people. But if all of us were to come together and say, listen, the problem is that humans are hypocritical, but God's provision is Jesus, then before you know it, people gather together in churches and they're learning how to deal with their hypocrisy and they become a blessing in the world. So I don't want you to avoid the church, the people of God, because of their hypocrisy, because you'd fit right in. We're all in it together, and God's provision and God's plan is Jesus. Now, this is what you do. First, I want you to share this message, because listen, if we're all hypocrites, we all need Jesus, and Jesus wants to do a work in everyone's life. And in the comment section, I want you to tag someone, not someone who you think is a hypocrite, but someone who you see who is really seeking to walk in the light, who's really seeking to close the gap between their profession and the way that they live. They want to really walk the talk that they have. And so I want you to tag them on it and thank them for taking those steps to really try and close the gap so they can keep growing. And what a blessing they're being in your life. And God bless you today.